commitment to a safer Bahamas.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Shalia Roll.
I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks so much for watching. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight, coming your way next.
This Friday night, an early morning fire disrupts ZNS AM radio. The plans to keep the broadcaster reaching its listeners on the Family Islands. The Works Minister reveals a stepped-up plan to address flooding in New Providence. And good news tonight, the country's main gateway is seeing an uptick in visitor arrivals. Those stories and more this late night, Friday, June 12, 2026.
The Bahamas Tonight at 11. The final word starts now.
And it is good to have you with us this Friday evening. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Well, the Broadcasting Corporation hit with $1 million loss in the wake of a fire at its South Beach transmission station. Our Desmond Saunders visited that scene earlier and has this story.
Government officials and a team of executives from the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas assessing the damage here inflicted at the ZNS Tower site. As you know, fire tore through this facility here in South Beach. Joining me with the initial assessment, I have the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for broadcasting, the Honorable Mikhail Barnaby. What's the initial assessment, sir?
Well, my team and I are here today just taking a very measured approach to what we are seeing here today. Obviously, there's been a fire. There's been significant damage here. And my team and I are going to obviously, like I said, take a measured approach. There's an investigation that's ongoing. We're not stating that there's any foul play, but that's just the natural course, due course that has to take place. And so we're just here to see with our own eyes what happened here today.
Okay. Any contingency plans? Any commitments from the government as yet?
Well, the commitment is for us to follow the proper protocols and procedures at this particular time. We will follow the lead of the staff of the Broadcasting Corporation, the chairman, and also the general manager to find out exactly what is happening from an investigative standpoint. Mm-hmm. And we're just here from the ministry perspective to lend support to their what they're trying to accomplish.
Well, thank you very much. Our Leah Cooper has been following this story since it unfolded early this morning. Here's her report.
A major setback for radio operations at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, as officials were alerted early Friday morning about a fire erupting from its South Beach transmitter station.
Got the call this morning just after 4 a.m. that our South Beach transmitting site was on fire. And Mr. Ted Jervis, our AGM for radio facilities and production. 1540 International Voice covers the entire Bahamas, South Florida, and also the Caribbean for us, especially the Turks and Caicos Islands, was a part of our broadcast family.
Now, we're told that a generator caught fire in this room right behind me and eventually grew and engulfed parts of this particular building. We know that the transmitter is completely damaged. There's other machinery in this room that is charred. Parts of the roof are gone. This is a $1.2 million loss, according to the chairman.
We've already made some contacts with our manufacturers in Chicago. We would now be reaching out to the Office of the Prime Minister and who has remit for the corporation to expedite the process of acquiring a brand new transmitter. We are hearing the price could be tagged at between $200,000 to $300,000 minimum, but we would need a good, strong transmitter to even go further than what we had before. We'll also have to include all the reconfiguration of this building, the construction process. So we're looking at a minimum of 1.2 to maybe almost $2 million. We have to redo the entire hut. We have to replace, I've been told generally, I'm not a construction or building person, but we've been told we must remove the generator from being attached to the actual transmitter's room and put it maybe off in a distance in case you would even encounter the same situation again. But
in the interim, Mr. Forbes assures ZNS officials are considering more than one avenue in an effort to restore radio services.
And we would have to have some discussion with Samir Bhatia at BTC and also Mr. Butler at Alive so that we can use the social media platforms to get our news out there, the Facebook and the YouTube. Now, you can't ask Miss Bastian and Mango Key to go to YouTube. She ain't know what that is. Okay, don't do that. So Facebook is a little easier. But Family Island data has a unique kind of thing and move real quickly. I can't get data easily. So then you're telling me now to go watch the news online. So hold on, you're changing people's lives. So we might have to have discussions with them.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Thank you, Leah and Desmond. A bittersweet moment here at the BCB as we welcome the new minister and said farewell to our outgoing general manager, Senator the Honorable Clint Watson, at a special ceremony at the corporation today. Our LaDon Davis reports.
Broad smiles and handshaking as newly minted Minister of State with responsibility for broadcasting, the Honorable Mikhail Barnaby, toured the Broadcasting Corporation Friday, getting a bird's eye view of the magic and people behind ZNS. Having given his full support to the BCB's acting general manager, Opal Roche, he publicly made this promise.
I thank you all because the honor and privilege is to serve each and every one of you in the capacity. You have everything that it takes, and I promise you, I promise you that I will go into the room, I will ask the questions, I will do my endeavor best to make real changes that is expected of us.
Minister Barnaby's formal hello coming as the BCB's former general manager, Clint Watson, said a formal farewell after 3 years of leadership. Bidding goodbye, Executive Chairman Picewell Forbes said he shared a good working relationship with Watson, whom he credited with understanding people, the press, and politics.
There are some guiding principles in broadcasting and journalism that makes one stand out, especially in the public sphere of broadcasting. Wanting to be accurate, unbiased, and responsible in informing your public. My GM was one of those persons who believed in the same. And I don't think he would mind me saying that the former minister, the Honorable Miles Kaler-Roda, permitted us and gave us some leverage in doing just that. Truth and accuracy, independence, impartiality, and fairness.
Watson, who's been appointed a senator and parliamentary secretary, applauded the younger media professionals for their hard work and dedication to the field. He also encouraged his successor not to be distracted by the noise in the market.
You are more than equipped. Your greatest offender will be your doubt. Do not doubt yourself. No one knows everything or all things. You will figure out a lot of things as you move along.
To Minister Barnaby, we say a warm welcome to our former general manager, the Honorable Clint Watson. A hearty congratulations. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDon Davis.
Thank you, LaDon. In other news here tonight, the Bahamas included in a U.S. immigrant visa pause affecting nationals of 75 countries. Government officials have clarified that tourist, student, and business visas are not affected. But one immigration attorney says the country's inclusion still raises a bigger question. Lyle Maycock reports.
The word pause can sound simple, but for Bahamians with family-based or other immigrant visa matters before U.S. consular officials, immigrant attorney Donald Russell Love says the impact is specific. This is not about the tourist visa, and it is not about a standard student visa. It is about an immigrant visa processing abroad, the pathway many people use when seeking permanent status in the United States.
The immigration visa pause that's currently affecting 75 countries, including the Bahamas, is a provision that they put in place, a directive that they put in place that instructs the U.S. embassies abroad in those countries not to process any immigrant visas.
The new U.S. policy is tied to public charge concerns, a legal standard used to assess whether someone may become dependent on U.S. government benefits. But Russell Love says that explanation is hard to square with the Bahamas.
My problem with the Bahamas being on this is that 9 out of 10 of the people that apply for green cards in the Bahamas get approved because they are not likely to become public charge. And what a public charge is, it's somebody that might end up on welfare. The Bahamas does not have a history. The statistics don't support that they're likely to become a public charge.
The government has sought to reassure citizens that non-immigrant visas, including tourist, business, and student visas, are not part of the pause. But Russell Love says the concern is not only about who can still travel, it is about why the Bahamas is on that list at all.
They're a partner with the United States. We have the Bahamas has a pre-clearance station in the United States. I mean, in the Bahamas. And I'm confused as to why they are on this list with the history, the relationship, the partnership that they've built over the years.
That question carries weight for a country that depends heavily on its international image, its tourism brand, and its relationship with the United States. Russell Love says being linked to a public charge risk list can create damage beyond the visa process itself.
I don't understand why the United States would expose the Bahamas and the brand, the luxury brand that they represent, expose them to this kind of negative publicity, negative, inference when they are a partner.
Russell Love says the key now is for Bahamians to know which visa category they fall under, ask questions clearly, and not wait until your application meets headwinds. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
And now the news from Parliament tonight. The Davis administration has sought to make addressing New Providence's growing flooding issue a top priority. During his contribution to the budget debate Thursday, Works and Family Island Affairs Minister, the Honourable Clay Sweeting, shared that ministry engineers have identified and mapped out nearly 300 flooding hotspots throughout the island, allowing them to prioritize interventions based on evidence and real-world data rather than assumptions.
So this is a new drainage monitoring system, which is being implemented to assess well capacity during storm events, improve planning, emergency response, and long-term infrastructure design. So if the well in Pinewood is full, it will notify the Ministry of Works that this well at this location on this road is full and needs to be cleaned, or water is collecting in that area. These are not temporary fixes, Madam Speaker. These are long-term solutions designed to build resilience and protect communities for generations to come.
It's also reporting the multi-million-dollar projects underway to deal with flooding in areas here in New Providence like Pinewood Gardens and Coral Harbor, and says even more work is about to get underway here in New Providence as well as around the country.
The government has also secured IDB funding in the amount of $80 million as a flood resilience loan to bolster resilience against recurrent flooding with the above identified zones. Madam Speaker, the progress that is taking place in New Providence is mirrored throughout the Family Islands.
The broadcast continues right after the short break. You are watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Hope you'll stay with us this Friday night.
Step into a life of luxury and convenience with the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card. From earning premium cashback rewards on every dollar spent to enjoying comprehensive travel insurance, shop with confidence, knowing your purchases are protected. Our Platinum Concierge service turns your requests into reality, wherever life takes you. Let the Commonwealth Bank Platinum Card be your passport to exceptional experiences. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
At
Marco's, we make it better. Better ingredients, better flavors, better quality. A signature sauce that families have always counted on. We are not only serving your family, but our families too. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas with center squares or cheesy bread for just $29.95. When you want pizza you can trust, choose Marco's. Your family deserves the best. Marco's Pizza, crafted with heart and proudly shared with love.
Whether you need life insurance, an endowment plan, or health insurance, BAF has you for all stages of your life.
Continuing here this Friday night, active investigations underway into the fatal shooting of a male that unfolded shortly after 10 o'clock last night in the area of McQuay Street off Nassau Street. Officers were dispatched to the scene after an anonymous caller reported that a male had been shot multiple times. On the scene, police discovered an unresponsive adult male suffering from apparent gunshot injuries. Emergency services rushed to the scene and took the male to hospital. However, he died a short while later. The deceased was reportedly sitting on a porch speaking with another man when a lone gunman approached and opened fire. The suspect, described as wearing a blue hoodie and a black mask, discharged multiple shots at the victim before fleeing the area on foot. As we said, investigations into this incident are ongoing. Much brighter note here this late night. The Lyndon Bindling International Airport seeing a significant uptick in visitor arrivals last month. Nassau Airport Development Company's president and chief executive officer Vernice Joaquin says the current trend offers encouraging signs heading into the peak summer travel season. The increase in travelers follow months of declining passenger traffic due to the U.S.-Iran war.
We expect this July to be very, very busy. I will share with you that this May is probably the second busiest May we've ever had in our history. And why that's important is because after 10 months of negative performance from the U.S. market, we actually saw a 5% growth out of the U.S. in May. So it seems as though the U.S. business is being restored, returning, and we are hopeful that that will continue through the summer.
Now, Ms. Joaquin adds that measures are in place to move travelers through LPIA on arrival and departure very efficiently during peak summer months.
In the months of July, in particular in the first half of August, those are our busiest periods for obvious reasons. People are traveling with the kids, and we tend to be very, very, very busy. So we meet with all of our stakeholder partners to make sure that everybody's fully staffed. We look for ways to move people through, both on the departure and the arrival side, to move them through those processes a lot quicker. And so an important part of that, obviously, is staffing and making sure that all of the equipment that processes people and their bags, that those equipment and systems are working. And so we've done this before, and we know how to do it.
There is mixed reaction tonight to the government's proposal to reduce customs duty on human hair and wigs. As LaDawn Davis tells us, while some say the measure will provide much-needed relief for cancer patients and those living with alopecia, others say more is still needed.
Chemotherapy-induced hair loss has long been one of the most visible and emotional challenges faced by cancer patients. Today, many survivors are choosing confidence over concealment, proudly wearing their bald heads as a symbol of strength. That reality has led president of the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group, Chantal Cox Hutchinson, to question whether the government's proposed tax break on hair products will benefit cancer patients or primarily those importing hair and wig extensions in bulk.
As far as a woman going through chemotherapy, and if you've gone through chemotherapy or you know someone who's gone through chemotherapy, weave is the last thing you want on your top of your head. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, well, the weave for those going through chemotherapy. weave is the last thing you want. Yes, you may wear it when you're going out of the house because you don't want anyone to know, and that's a very small group of women.
The cancer support executive says she hopes more emphasis is placed on reducing the high cost of healthcare services for all patients.
VAT on medical devices, the whole VAT situation on persons having to go through medical treatment, the cost of medical treatment in this country. Get all of the NGOs, those people that are involved in healthcare, sit us around the table, and I'm sure we could have come up with something much more impactful for the country and for individuals going through this disease. Like I said, I don't want anybody to take this wrong, but I appreciate the duty on weave. But for me, and for all of the women and men that are fighting cancer, the impact is not as great as they think it will be.
But contrary to that, Dr. Sharon Neely at Fabulous Ronnie says she wholeheartedly agrees with the government's decision.
For many, it is a confidence restoring necessity for one to face, the world with that dignity. And so it's very much important. It gives one a sense of belonging.
Moving forward, cancer advocacy groups say they are hoping to secure a seat at the table with the government to help develop more effective policies aimed at easing the financial burden faced by those living with alopecia and cancer. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Participants in a local mentoring program marking a milestone after being equipped with the tools needed to enhance their self-esteem and explore future career paths. Fern Carey tells us more.
21 girls from Girls with a Purpose mentoring program recently graduated after months of training to fulfill their theme, We Rise, We Grow, We Lead.
I'm the founder of Girls with a Purpose mentoring program here at Carlton Francis. We are in our 4th year, graduating students from grade 5. And the vision of this program is to mentor students into leadership and to help them with self-esteem and to help them establish their goal as they go on to the future.
We learn how to stay clean, how to sit properly, and we learn how to behave, be respectful.
They help us to grow and stop being afraid of different things.
I'm the grandfather of Kaylee Penniman. I believe the Girls with a Purpose program is having an effect on her because she's showing a lot of maturity.
We're leaders of excellence, are purpose-driven. We strive daily to be the best that we can. With God as our God, look at the future, for greatness is our motto and excellence is our goal.
The special guest speaker was a 9th grade student of Queens College and a queen of the Estes Court.
Everybody sit up tall like a leader. Now put a big smile on your face and look at your neighbor and say, you look like a leader. Now look at your next neighbor and say, you're going to do great things. I need you all to bend like this, like you're seeing. Now pretend it's raining, so do your hands like this, with a little rain, and wiggle your fingers. Now pretend the sun is shining and stretch your arms out to slowly grow into a bigger tree. Now say, I am growing.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, got there. A youth career fair in Fort Charlotte brought more than 30 employers to Barrington Road, with organizers saying each company came with opportunities for young job seekers. The event comes as many young people say getting a call back remains one of the hardest ways of finding work. Lyle Maycock was there.
What type of job are you looking for today?
Law.
Real estate and insurance. Construction.
Resumes in hand, questions ready, and for many young people in Fort Charlotte, the hope of leaving with more than just a brochure. Friday's Youth Career and Job Fair assembled employers, training options, and job seekers into one space. For young constituent Reynardo, the search started long before he walked to these booths.
I have been applying to jobs already. It's actually been very frustrating. A lot of times I'm not getting any replies back or any calls back.
Organizers noted that frustration is why the fair was built around more than information tables. The Member of Parliament for Fort Charlotte and Minister of Innovation and National Development, the Honorable Sebastian, maintains employees were bought in from several industries for this very reason.
So, we've created a very, very comprehensive group of
corporate Bahamas together from all different industries. As you can see, there's over 30 plus companies represented here.
Minister Bastian assures the expectation was for companies to leave with more than names on paper.
So this is not just a passive application grabbing process. I think 100 plus people will walk out here with employment after today. And
that follow-through is also what organizers say they plan to track. Shantez Dillette Wilson, Director of Communications and Policy Advisor for the Fort Charlotte constituency, says each employer was asked to come with space for young people who are ready to work.
We asked every single employer here to commit to at least 1 to 3 opportunities for the students and the various young people that are out here today.
At the booth, some employers insist the door is not closed to young people without a long resume. McDonald's Human Resource Manager Gabrielle Frost says they are looking for applicants they can train.
We're definitely looking for persons who we can teach and mold into, young professionals, so no experience.
And at Fraser Associates, Maya Rowe believes the point is to give young people early exposure and a chance to prove themselves.
Give young professionals a chance and show them what can be done if you just stay focused, stay committed, and be consistent.
For Reynaldo, the promise of opportunity will come down to what happens after the tables, business cards, and handshakes.
When I came here with the expectation or, the hope of when I were to give in my resume that these people would actually get back to me, and for the record, it seems that that's going good so far.
Organizers say that the next step is ensuring that today's connections turns into real opportunities, whether through job placements or interviews. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
Thank you, Lyle, and stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight on 11 turns to sports right after this.
And a new man in charge of the Bahamas men's national basketball team. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Steak sandwich?
I really like the honey mustard sauce. And then like the crispy bacon on it as well.
Oh, it's pepper jack cheese.
I love the spice. I love the crunch.
I love the original sandwich, but just that simple addition of bacon was like over the top.
The chicken is really good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I rate this a 10 out of 10. I'd eat this again.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. When the craving hits, there's only one thing everybody agrees on. Hot, crispy, Wendy's chicken tenders. Made to satisfy every bite. Whether it's served as a slider or wrap, it's always perfectly seasoned, perfectly crunchy, and always cooked fresh. From lunch with friends to family moments worth sharing. For chicken tenders you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Welcome to your TGIF Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. A new face expected to be the lead one on the sidelines for the Bahamas men's national team in their latest FIBA AmeriCup qualifiers. University of Kentucky men's basketball assistant coach Mikhail McLean will officially take the charge. The announcement was made by the Bahamas Basketball Federation earlier this week. McLean, no stranger to the sidelines on a national level. He's been a part of the senior men's program coaching staff since 2021. He's worked closely with former national team coach Chris DeMarco, who nearly guided the group to an Olympic berth in 2024 during the FIBA Olympic men's qualifying tournament in Valencia, Spain. That team, of course, was led by NBA players Buddy Hield, DeAndre Ayton, Eric Gordon, and VJ Edgecombe. Again, this window is expected to tip off July 3rd against Jamaica and then July 6th against Puerto Rico, both games taking place at the Kendall G. L. Isaacs Gymnasium. In track news, 4 Bahamian ladies in action yesterday representing their schools in the 400-meter heats at the NCAA Outdoor Championships in Eugene, Oregon. Jawanya Valcourt, competing for the Tennessee Volunteers, would take her opening heat in 50.75 before failing to advance in the semis. She would run a faster time, though, crossing the tape in 50.65. She would finish 13th overall. With the Bahamians in action, Quincy Penn, competing for the Florida Gators, would finish 4th in her heat, crossing the tape in 51.06. 1933, she would not advance. Colleen Farrington, competing for the Texas Tech Red Raiders, finishing 8th in her heat in 51.96. Lagartha Cooper also competing. She would run for the Texas A&M Aggies. She would finish 6th in her heat in 51.65. Switching gears, earlier in the week during his budget contribution, Sports Minister the Honorable Mario Bolag reiterating the government's commitment to strengthening its Sports in Paradise brand, as Bahamas is among the preferred global destinations for many international sporting events. Bolag adding that over $5 million has been allocated to continue to foster this promotion. The NSL sports team recently catching up with Minister Bolag on the sidelines of the Pony 14U Baseball Championships.
Well, you know, we always believe that we have something that not much Caribbean nations can offer, and that's the beautiful sun, and sea, beautiful sea, you know, and what we also have A1 class facilities. You look at these facilities. I was speaking to the president tonight, and he said this is the best in all his time as being presidency Pony Under 14 baseball tournament he has been to. He was pleased with the courtesy provided to him by the local organizing committee and also the Bahamian people at the hotels at Breezes. But we want the Caribbean and the nation and the world to know that we are here as Sports in Paradise brand to host many events and any kind of events that they want to bring. We got the people, we got the facilities, and we got the vacation all in one.
And in tennis news, Bahamas partnering with the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association to host the upcoming BLTA Junior Nationals at the John McEnroe Tennis Center. Bahamas Senior Vice President Robert Sandy Sands tells us more.
Well, we recognize that supporting a number of these junior sporting events help for the sustained growth of sports in those respective fields. Senior representation and sponsorship tends to get the majority of sponsorships in this country. We believe that in order to ensure that we have a cadre of up-and-coming athletes in a number of sports disciplines, it is important that community-minded companies such as Bahamas support them in a meaningful way. And we believe that tennis, as I've articulated, helps in the overall, sports in general, helps in the overall development of our youth and creates positive activities for them in their personal development within the country.
And that's been Look at Your Sport on this Friday. I'm Amajal Knowles signing out until tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it a date. Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. It's the Kingdom National Parkinson Foundation's 26th Annual Gala Charity Ball. Cocktails begin at 6:45 p.m. Food prepared by international chefs. Tons of prizes and surprises. Entertainment by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Pop Band, DJ Gary Super Johnson, and the Dynamic Essence Band. Once again, it's Saturday, June 27, 2026, 7 p.m. at Atlantis Paradise Island. If you haven't already purchased your ticket, give us a call at 242-477-3782. That's 242-477-3782. With your help, we can continue to tell those with Parkinson. We are not strong, and I'll be your friend.
So how's your preparation going? By now, you should be completing home repairs since the last storm, updating and replenishing your emergency kit, and paying closer attention to the ZNS networks for earlier than normal developments in the tropics and general storm tracking. Hurricanes don't wait. Why should you? This season, be weather smart, weather safe.
And just before we head into the weekend, let's get caught up on our weather forecast. For that, we say good evening to Diane Dorsett.
Good evening. Our satellite picture shows patchy clouds over the northwest and southeast of the Bahamas, and in the tropics, a broad area of low pressure has formed in the far southern bay of Campeche, that's over here, and is producing disorganized showers. However, conditions remain unfavorable for development. And elsewhere in the tropics, tropical cyclone development is not expected during the next 7 days. Now, let's take a quick check on temperatures around the Family Islands. In the northern Bahamas, it is 82 degrees in Freeport City, Green Turtle Key and Bullocks Harbor, 83 in Montreal, Abaco, and in Alice Town, Bimini, it is 80 degrees. In Fresh Creek Central Andros, it is 85. Camps Bay South Andros, 87. 79 in Harbor Island, 85 in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, and in Arthurstown, Kid Island, San Salvador, and Rumpke, it is 83 degrees. 5 degrees higher in Georgetown, Exuma, and for our southernmost islands, Clarence Sound, Crooked Island, and Ragged Island, it is 86 degrees. 89 in Betsy Bay and Acklands, Matthew Town and Nagua, it is 84 degrees, and for the Turks and Caicos Islands, it is 84 degrees as well. Tonight, you can expect a low of 76 degrees, partly cloudy skies. I would say it might feel a bit warmer, and tomorrow, partly sunny with a couple of showers in some spots, and a high of 88 now. In your extended forecast, you can expect a mix of clouds and some sun with a couple of morning and afternoon showers in some areas. Temperatures will be in the high 80s, low 90s, with lows in the upper 70s. Now that's your late night look at weather, and as always, rest easy, stay cozy, and thanks for staying up with us. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you as well, Diane, and thank you for staying with us this late night. That is our broadcast here this Friday night this week. I'm Corvell Pye for Diane, Amo, and our entire team. You take care, be well, and remember, we will all be looking to see you again right back here on Monday. Have a good weekend. Good night.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Ennis. This is ZNS.